Okay, students, we're going to get started with this feedback about the quiz of lesson 11 and lesson 12. Um, I had okay, there we go. This is the grade on 11, so kind of spread out a little bit. But let's see if we could take a look at this. Of course, the highlight is the median, right? The middle number is 80. That's pretty good. All right, let's let's take a look. It seems that a couple of these questions gave you guys particular trouble. We're talking about this one, talking about this one, talking about this one. Now, do keep in mind, though we're emphasizing these questions, and I know I'm getting help, just think the information that you do know, okay? Just keep that in mind as we go through these difficult questions. All right, question number one. The equation of a perpendicular bisector of the line segment from this point to this point is something. Okay, well, first of all, what's a perpendicular bisector? A perpendicular bisector is a line that cuts another line at its midpoint and it's at a right angle. Okay, that's from geometry. Okay, that may have been a long time ago for some of you guys. So there's a line segment, and my ordered pairs are 2, 3, and 6, 9. Now let's just use a little, just kind of common sense here. 2, 3 is about here, 6, 9 is about there. So these, these are my points that I'm going to make my perpendicular bisector, right? Okay. Now what I want to know what the equation is of, right? I want to know the equation of this green line. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need to do. So let's do that. Well, first of all, we know that we need to find the midpoint here between these 2 points. Remember your midpoint formula. All you have to do is just find the x and the y. And you find the x by adding the x coordinate values together, divide by 2. The y coordinate values together, divide by 2. So here the midpoint is 8 over 2, and this is 12 over 2. So this is going to be 4, 6. Okay? So that's this point right in here. All right, now we know a point on the green line. I'll call that P for point. Another thing that we need to do is we need to find the slope of this segment right here. We need to find M, okay? And we do that by using the slope formula. Remember, the slope formula is the difference of the y's over the difference in the x's, okay? I always, or as a general rule, take the y that's most positive. I'm going to go y minus 3, and then I'm going to go 6 minus 2. Y minus 3 is 6, 6 minus 2 is 4. Okay, so this is 3/2, okay? Now I know the slope of the blue segment. But remember, we're trying to find the slope of a line that's perpendicular to it. And remember, they're negative reciprocals. Negative reciprocals, okay? So that means the slope of the line I'm looking at is 2 over 3 with this was plus, so this is going to be minus. This is the information that you're looking for, okay? Now, the question is saying, I want to know the equation of this perpendicular bisector. I want the equation of the green line. So the way to do that, I don't know how to do an eraser here. Hold on here. All right, there we go. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to set up my equation. There are a lot of ways to do this. I'm just going to use this form since people are familiar with this. 6 is equal to m, which is negative 2 over 3, times x, which is 4, plus b. All right, everybody sees that 6 is equal to negative 8 over 3 plus b. What I would do is let's find b first. B is equal to 6 plus 8 over 3. 6 plus 8 over 3 is, what is that? That's 18, 26 over 3. B is 8 and 2/3. Well, if you notice, we have all fractions, and it would be a wise idea for us to just rewrite our equation. Y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 26 over 3. Now, folks, let's see if this makes sense. Is that a negative slope line? Yes. And it is going to hit the y-axis at a point way up there, so that does make sense. Let's multiply everybody by 3. 3. And what would we have? We'd have 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 26. And if we move the 2x to the left side, I have 2x plus 3y is equal to 26. That's my answer. Whoops, I have no idea what's going on there. Okay, that's my little screen. Okay, all right, so that is this answer right here. Yes, it was a little difficult and a little tedious, but that is how you do it. I do hope that that helps you. Okay, number next, the equation line that passes through. Now here's another one of these, find an equation of a line. I got negative 3 comma 2, and then I have a slope of 4/5. Now there are about 5 ways to do this. I really should do point slope form, but in the interest of just getting something out here that's clear to you, I'm just going to use my trusty slope intercept form. Okay, it said write the equation of the line. Okay, well, all I have to do is find b, and I have solved the problem. Well, let's see, what do we have? We know a y on the line is 2. We know the slope is 4/5. Another thing we know is x is negative 3, a point on the line, and we want to find b. Do a little arithmetic, negative 12 over 5 plus b. So b is equal to 2 plus 12 over 5. You know, easy way to do this is just multiply 5 times 2 and get 10. That's 22 over 5. Okay, so basically we're done. Let me go back over here. Y equals 4/5 x plus 22 over 5. But if you notice over here, our forms are not in slope intercept form, so we're going to have to multiply both sides by 5. 5y is equal to 4x plus 22. Now, people do this different ways, and so the author of this textbook moves the 4 over here, which would imply a negative 4x plus 5y is equal to 22, and that's why we have this answer down here. I do hope that that helps you understand how to do that question. Okay, this question is talking about which one of the following statements is true regarding perpendicular lines. Well, if you notice, they're negative reciprocals of each other. So this one would be plus 2 over 5. You know, if we multiply this, we would get a negative 1. If we multiply these, we'd get a negative 1. So that's why the answer is right here. Okay, hope that helps you out. All right, now on quiz 12, here's our work. And again, here the middle number is 70, okay? So let's see if we can figure out how to give you some assistance on doing those problems. Now, folks, actually, there were only 2 real problems that gave you difficulty. And let's see if we could talk about these. It looks like this question right here and this question right here. All right. Okay, let me try to explain explain this investment problem, okay? It seems like a lot, but it's not too bad. All right. Okay, I have the $25,000 I want to invest, one at 5.2% and one at 6%. The question says that I need to make a certain amount of money per year. So I add the interest from both of them and I get $13.50. Now remember, to find interest, you take the percent times the amount of money. So here's my percent for the 5.2%, and then here's my amount of money here. Now, where'd I get that? Well, if I had 20,001, the other would have to be 5,000. If I had 10,001, the other had to be 15,000. If this is X, that's 25,000 minus X. Or if the second one is X, this one's 25,000 minus X. The whole minus the part is the other part. That is actually a really helpful saying right there. So anyway, back to our problem. So I'm going to use the distributive property right here. And I have this product minus 0.052x plus 0.06x is equal to 1350. I do this multiplication, I get this number. I do the subtraction, I get this. I'll copy that down. I subtract this from the other side, and I get 50. I divide 50 by 0.008, and I get this number, which means $6,250. I look up here at my answer choices, and sure enough, it is this one right here, okay? So that's how you do that problem. Now let's look at this last question that gave you some difficulty. The question said, the system of equations. So this is called a system right here, okay? And it wants to know, describe it. Consistent, inconsistent, dependent. I don't see the word independent here. So let's review those words for 1 second. Consistent means has at least one solution. At least one solution. Okay, inconsistent, no solution. Dependent is infinite solutions, and independent is one solution. Okay, so this would be inconsistent would be two lines that don't touch. Dependent would be two lines right on top of each other, okay? And then independent is one solution right here. Now the question is, tell us about these two equations. Well, the first one is 2x minus y is equal to 1. Now you could solve this two ways. One way is just to ask yourself this question. If the second equation is 2y is equal to 2, can I simplify the second equation by dividing everybody by a common number? If I divide the left side by 2, I get 2x minus y. If I divide the right side by 2, I get 1. Now the question is, are these the same equation? If the answer is yes, then it's going to be two lines that are the same. It's going to be dependent and consistent. And notice over here, here's my answer, consistent and dependent. I know those words are not the best words in the world. And I think we really do need to change those words. I would like to see that done at some point. But knowing what's happening in math education, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So what we need to do is kind of live with them for a second. And you're not going to use these a whole lot in life, but it is important to know the definition in this setting. I do hope that going over this quiz has helped you. Please watch my video on how to do word problems or how to be good at word problems. And I wish you the very, very best.